You ever find yourself unable to finish a game or unable to even sit down and play it? Maybe the thought of returning to a game you haven't played in a while discourages you because you feel like you're going to be lost and not know what to do. I've experienced these feelings, and if you did too, then here's some things I found that's been helpful to get me back into gaming. The thought of jumping back into a game you haven't played in a long time can be a bit overwhelming, especially if it's a game that's like really complicated or complex, such as Baldur's Gate 3 or even Elden Ring. And a lot of the times when some people such as myself leave a game for a long time, it lingers in the back of our minds and we want to get back into it, but the more you think about the complex mechanics that you just don't have muscle memory for anymore, the more you avoid it by all costs or play a different game. And I think that's where the first point comes in. One of the most important things to do to get back into gaming is to just do it. Elden Ring, for example, I never played in 2 years. I got to a level 112, got to the fire giant, and then I stopped. And I really wanted to get back into it, but I didn't know how. Eventually, I just told myself, you know what if I just sit down and just play it for like 10 minutes and see where it goes from there. And before I knew it, that 10 minutes turned into an hour, that hour turned into 2, and then that 2 turned into me coming back the next couple days to continue playing. So I think the fear of getting back into a game is just that. It's just a fear. Once you actually sit down and start playing the game again, it goes away really quickly if you're enjoying yourself. Just don't think about it. That said, having a goal in mind also kind of helps. Playing a game for 10 minutes can in itself be a goal. Then once you start getting into it again, slowly but surely, you can set other goals for yourself. Maybe you want to get a certain item. Maybe you want to explore a certain area. Maybe you want to kill a boss in a certain session. Keeping those goals in mind or having at least an idea of them will encourage you to keep playing or to turn the console back on, or PC or whatever you're playing on, and keep playing. I know a lot of us aren't trophy hunters, and some of us are, but nonetheless, achievements can also kind of be a goal. I find myself thinking about achievements a lot when I play games now. I would never trophy hunt for 100% completion, but in my head I have achievements in mind, and I do feel a little bit of fulfillment when I get an achievement. So, for all the achievements that are possible to get in one run or in a run I'm doing, I do keep them in mind as a goal for me to achieve. So achievements are in its own also encouraging. And if you are a trophy hunter, then keeping those achievements in mind can encourage you. Don't try too hard, because some games do have some ridiculous achievements, and those achievements can become a bit overbearing at times. It might make you less motivated to play the game rather than more so. So it depends. Having a time frame in mind, I feel, is a must when doing any hobby. Setting aside a certain time period in your day for you to get into what you want to do, whether it's gaming, art, reading, whatever the case may be, it's always important to have an idea of a time frame. If you want to game at night, or you feel like certain other things that you're completely wasting your time with is taking away from gaming, such as scrolling through TikTok or Instagram, stuff like that, it's important to fight off those urges first, because yes, scrolling through any form of media like that does waste a lot of time. So having an idea of a time that you can set aside specifically for playing a certain game is really helpful. Or even different days playing different games, like the weekends you'll play online games with your friends such as Apex or Fortnite or whatever you want to play. And then every other time you want to play your single player games, been sitting in your backlog for so long. But that brings me to my next point. Variety is okay. You don't have to force yourself to play the same game over and over again till you complete it. Games are meant to be fun at the end of the day, and if you're not having fun with it, there's really no point in playing it. Video games shouldn't feel like a chore or a job to you. They should always feel fun. So if you find yourself not getting into certain games, whether it's online games for example, I myself don't get into online games that much, and I have a lot of friends that really do. And I do play a wide variety of games, from farming sims to indie games, AA, AAA, it doesn't matter. As long as it interests me, I decide to play it and to pick it up and play it. I like a variety of games. So if you feel like you don't want to play a certain game anymore and you want to try something else, that's perfectly fine. Sometimes a genre might get a little stale to you. Maybe all you've been playing is FPSs and you don't want to play any more FPSs because you just had too many gunshots in your head. Maybe you want something calm and relaxing. Or maybe you want a survival game. So having the variety and the ability to switch genres is a must. One of my last points is to have a comfortable space. Good posture is really important when sitting by the computer or sitting in general or doing anything in life. It helps you avoid pains and feeling uncomfortable. If you feel like you're a type of person that doesn't like to sit for too long, there's nothing stopping you from standing up every 20 minutes or so. Some people have standing desks so they can do that, but even if you don't, you can always take a break. There's also the 20-20-20 rule, where for every 20 minutes you're looking at a screen, spend a good 20 seconds looking at something. I think it's 20 feet or something away. I think that's the 20-20 rule. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna put the 20-20 rule here. Along with that, staying hydrated is also important, and well, if you're hungry, grab a snack, man. Just grab a snack. There's nothing more important than being comfortable when playing a game or doing anything for that matter. And even though that was my last point, I do want to mention this as a little bonus. Stop forcing yourself to play a game if you don't enjoy it. If there's a certain game you don't enjoy, you're not getting gripped by it, you just don't feel like playing it and it's putting you off playing games in general, there is absolutely nothing stopping you from just not playing the game. You don't have to play a game just because. You can't force yourself to play a game you don't like. And if push comes to shove, you can always come back to that game later after you've played some other things you actually enjoy. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's gonna be it for this one. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe and comment down below if you've ever felt this way about gaming. Sometimes gaming can feel a little monotonous, especially with all the grind heavy games that come out today. There are lots of games that boast hundreds and hundreds of hours. Sometimes you don't always need hundreds and hundreds of hours. Sometimes you just want to sit down, relax, and play a short game with a good story. That said, there's nothing wrong with having hundreds and hundreds of hours if done right. Anyway, I'll see you next time. In the meantime, you can check out this video. Bye!